everybody, Chris here. We're going to see a price rally following Bitcoin's Dogecoin spot ETF filing with the SEC. We're going to talk about that in this video. Please be sure to subscribe to my channel. Hit that little notification bell too. You can be notified when my new videos come out, as well as when I do live streams. And we were live yesterday when the announcement came out that Bitwise had officially filed for a Dogecoin spot ETF. We knew this was coming because last week they had put together their entity filing in the state of Delaware for the Dogecoin spot ETF, and now it is official. It is filed for. We're going to get into the details on that in a little bit. And what did Dogecoin do? Well, yesterday afternoon it went on a little rally, but overnight showed some weakness with the rest of the crypto market, and I still think that there's a little bit of weakness going into the Fed's announcement today on interest rates. We're going to cover that too, so let's get into it. Let me show you the charts and the news. I'll show you what I'm looking at. We start here looking at the current Dogecoin chart, and we're about 32.5 cents. Again, a little weakness this morning. We'll talk about that in just a minute. We did have, last night, we did have a dip, came down to about 31.5 cents. So that looks like that is going to be our local low for support, 31.5 cents. And we were watching this during the live stream yesterday as prices were going lower, saw some red candles, but then again, we did last night have a bit of recovery, and now again showing weakness. Now this also goes back to Monday, where we had some big volatility on the price drop following that DeepSeek AI thing and the stock market going down, Nvidia crashing and all of that. A lot of volatility there with all of that trading. So it looks like with all of that, it looks to be like we're not going to see prices going lower than that unless there's some other huge crash. It's not going to be Dogecoin itself that's going to go below that. That's for sure. So I'm feeling confident about that, and this local low here at 31.5. We're looking at 34 as a resistance up here and this yellow line. So we will see the trading as we go forward. And of course, we will follow up this afternoon with another live stream. Bitcoin is at $102,000. Again, we're looking at this, the blue dash line here is that $100,000 line. Similar thing happened on Monday with Bitcoin, with the big retrace. Not really a crash, because percentage-wise, it really wasn't a huge number, but it just looks bad with the red candles as Bitcoin did drop below 100K. So if people were wanting to buy Bitcoin under 100, you had an opportunity there on Monday. So it looks like the local is going to be at 100,200 for support, and then resistance is going to be up here close to $104,000. We will continue to watch that as well. So what's going on today? Well, we've got the Fed, right? The United States Federal Reserve, about 5 hours from when I'm recording this, will make their official rate decision, which there's a 99.5% chance that will remain unchanged. There's a slight possibility here, 0.5%, that there might be a rate cut. And so what's going to happen with that as far as a rate cut? Well, is this going to be as I said, let's get to that in just a minute. As I said this morning, we've got the U.S. Federal Reserve is likely to hold rates steady today despite Trump's calls for cuts. Will Jerome Powell keep the Fed independent or cave to the pressure from the White House? This is going to be interesting to see, and I'm going to be live after this, but I do encourage you to take a look at Mr. Tom Crown here. Tom Crown, he has the best FOMC live streams. So Tom will come on about 1 o'clock, and he'll spend about an hour going through technical analysis. He'll give his prediction of what's going to happen at 2 o'clock, and then 2:30 when Powell starts speaking, he'll be live through all of that. Generally, his predictions are pretty spot on when those things happen. And then I will be live once Tom is done. So Tom's usually done, I don't know, 3:15, somewhere in that time range. So I will be starting my Wednesday live stream following Tom Crown. So do certainly watch for that. So what's going on right now? Bitwise files for Dogecoin ETF amid shifting U.S. regulations. And of course, as I showed earlier here, We broke that during the live stream yesterday. Let's go. Bitwise Dogecoin ETF has officially now been applied for. Again, we knew this was coming, and it has now been done. So Bitwise also has a Bitcoin spot ETF. It has an ETH spot ETF, and it has applied for others, including Solana. We'll get to that in a minute. But this is filed with federal regulators on Tuesday, marks Bitwise's latest step toward rolling out a Dogecoin ETF. The fund, if approved, would expose investors to the price movements of the 8th largest crypto by market cap. Because Dogecoin is right up there, which it has been for many years. Proof of work, cryptocurrency, totally decentralized. I mean, it's going to be interesting to see what happens with these XRP and Solana ETFs applications and whether the SEC starts looking into them more carefully or not. It will be interesting. So we'll be watching all of that. We'll be watching the price and how it changes as well. I mean, in the immediate, it's like not much of a price reaction happened. We had a little blip, but then it kind of traded back because of the weakness in the crypto market late yesterday afternoon. But we'll see how that goes with that. Now, one thing that's new here, because Bitwise has a Bitcoin ETF, it has an Ethereum ETF. It filed for Solana and XRP, and the timeline is news to me because the SEC has 45 days from the filing date to make an initial decision to approve, deny, or extend. Typically, and what we saw with the Bitcoin ETFs is they typically extend. With all of the extensions that can happen, the final deadline could be 240 days. So that moves it to next fall, not April like I was saying before, but would be next fall. And here's the Solana one. So here's Bitwise Solana ETF, and this is the latest I saw. They filed for that in November 2024. They already they followed up with this 19B-4, which they still have to do with Dogecoin, but they followed up on the same day on the Solana one. The first deadline just happened on the 25th, and it is being extended. So the second deadline is March 11th, third June 9th, and then final August 8th. So Dogecoin would probably follow the same sort of timeline, except it hasn't been filed until January 2025. So because of that, we would see this be more like October timeframe for the 240 days. So that is not the best news in terms of like we want something immediately to happen. Most likely it's going to follow this extended thing. So a little weakness in the markets, but the approval odds surge because Bitwise, a little more reputable than the Rex Osprey one that has already been filed for. And again, like the SEC did with Bitcoin, it could just lump them all together, could take the Rex Osprey one and the Bitwise one and approve them at the same time. But again, that's going to be a ways out. But overall, Dogecoin ETF moves closer. Bitwise files the S1, needs to follow up with the next one. And then the clock has started. And of course, there was big news yesterday about the prospectus of the Bitwise Dogecoin ETF. We knew that was coming because of this, the entity that was created last week. So all of that is in good standing now. The Bitwise ETF is filed under a 33 Act, which is different than the Rex Osprey 40 Act. And there's some details about that, but that really doesn't change too much in terms of the approval process. It changes a bit in the way that it trades because the 40 Act that Rex Osprey used has tighter SEC oversight, better governance, limits on riskier maneuvers like leverage and short selling, and we know how the leverage and short selling affects Dogecoin itself, Bitcoin, as well as others. But we'll see, and we can talk more about the advantages and disadvantages of a Doge ETF during the live stream if you're interested. So join me Wednesday afternoon and we will talk more about that. But the Bitwise Doge ETF, could Dogecoin price rally like 900% because of this? And of course, all of the price predictions are out there. Again, this is Ali Martinez, and he thinks that there could be this giant price increase that we covered on yesterday's live stream, up like 900%. And of course, that is not happening. This is it's a different world now than it was 4 years ago. We had all of that, the shorts of GameStop and AMC, and I showed, my screenshot from 4 years ago where my Robinhood account still showed that notification about GameStop and AMC, not being able to buy. Just craziness. It was craziness. Dogecoin doesn't quite trade the same way with the same volatility as 4 years ago, but we could still see prices increase quite a bit there. So should you buy Dogecoin while it's under $1? I mean, are we expecting Doge to go over $1? And should you buy now? Anything under $1 could be a good buy. We don't know yet. I know you all are saying, like, some of you already bought in the 40-cent range and now it's in the 30s and you're down a bit. I get that, but I think we're still early in the 4-year cycles. We're going to cover that again more in the live stream on Wednesday afternoon, just to refresh everyone where we are in the overall crypto 4-year cycles that are still online to repeat again. So we'll talk more about that. But meanwhile, there's another little bit of news. Trump, the Trump meme coin or meme token, what's happening with that? Well, several Trump-linked platforms now accept the official Trump meme coin as a mode of payment on various retail goods, including sneakers. So the GetTrumpWatches.com website, the GetTrumpFragrances.com website, and the GetTrumpSneakers.com website is now accepting this Trump token as payment. So, I mean, I don't know. It is starting to be pushed as a currency, and beyond retail, some businesses like Travala have also started accepting Trump tokens. Now, Travala already accepts Dogecoin and a bunch of other cryptos, but it's now adding Trump as well, which is kind of interesting. Trump's price not doing well, down below $27. It did yesterday afternoon. It did come up over $30, but falling back again. Again, we just use this as a point of reference, and I'm not promoting the Trump token or anything like that, but just as a point of reference as another crypto being used as currency for real-world payments, and the Trump token is joining that. So here we are with Doge right now, 32.3. Again, it's up over 1.5 points for the day, outperforming Bitcoin. Bitcoin's at 0.5, Bitcoin now at 1018, and Doge is at 32.3. Again, we'll be watching more of that in the live stream as well. So join me this afternoon, but leave a comment below. What do you think about this ETF filing by Bitwise? Again, a little bit more reputable company than Rox Esprit, but still, we got a ways to wait, unfortunately. Give the video a like. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. I appreciate the support. We'll see you next time.